Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Red Devils experience. We're here with the Red Devil recap. Manchester United 3, Aston Villa 2. What a comeback. What a Boxing Day miracle. What a match. What a second half for Manchester United. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to get straight into it, guys. Just real quick, please give a like, subscribe, share with your friends and family, especially the likes. We really appreciate it. It helps the channel. It helps us get out there a little bit more. It helps us get viewed more. So if you could just take 2 seconds of your time, click that like button. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it. On to the match. What a second half. What a performance. What a comeback. Might I add, good evening. Good evening. Yes, good evening. The first half was an absolute disaster. We let up 2 really crappy, shitty goals. Poor defending. Goalkeeper questionable on the first one, for sure. And before we get into all the positivity, because there was a lot of positives on this game, and it's very important that we focus on these positivities because we don't get a lot of it this season, and we need to uplift this club as much as possible. And I just need to get this out of the way and say, why does it take these players to go down 2-0, to be embarrassed, to have the fans on your back booing you at the end of the first half, to go play football the way you should play? I mean, that second half performance that's Manchester United. That is what Manchester United stands for. That's what the club is about. That's literally ingrained into our history. That's literally a piece of the Man United DNA. If you still believe it's there and not completely lost, I don't understand why these players cannot show up the way they did in the second half, every match and play like that from the first second of the game to the last game. It's concerning, and it needs to be figured out. And I don't know if the answer is that you just can't fix it because the mentality of the players or whatever it is. Maybe the only way to fix it is to move them on. Move on these players that they just don't have it in them to sustain it from the first second of the game to the 90th minute. It's frustrating. It's really annoying because there's so many matches we play where it's like, we're not outplayed. The team that we play isn't actually better than us. It's just that we play so bad that we beat ourselves. We lose matches because we play terrible. It's not like we play good and we're just not good enough and we get outplayed. We play so poor that we get outplayed. But if we actually play our game and the players do what they're supposed to do, like they did in the second half, Eric Ten Hag said it. When we play our best, we can beat anybody, and I really do think so. I think so, but the problem is the consistency of that. They cannot sustain this. And another thing that I have to say is that this match has to be the match. They get no more chances from me. This match has to be the catalyst. This match has to be the springboard for the rest of the season. The time is now. It's go time. We have to use this result as a springboard for the rest of the season. Something to fight for. Try and get into that top 4. Try and do something, to salvage something from this season. We cannot write this season off in January like we've done in the past seasons. And this is their last chance from me. We cannot go backwards the next match. We cannot go backwards. We fought hard against Liverpool. We got a hard deserved point away from home against a team that has been getting better results and has been playing better than us. And we went into the next match and we completely shit the bed and we got embarrassed. And it took a lot of strength, a lot of courage, a lot of fight, a lot of drive, a lot of passion to come back from 2-0 down and playing shit in 45 minutes, and you saved the 3 points. You saved the heat off the manager. You saved the heat off of yourselves from the players' point of view. And this result has to be carried over into the next match. And the match after, and the match after that. It has to. If they go backwards, there is no more excuses for them. There is no more hope for them. They need to do it now. There is no more like extra time. There's no more extra chances. It has to happen now. They need to use this result. I mean, it's a fantastic result when you think about it in terms of aspect of football. I mean, Aston Villa were in fantastic form. Um, they beat or they got very good results against most of the top six, the top four. Whereas we've had the opposite record. I don't even know what the stat is. I know it's something completely insane and disgraceful, but the last time we actually got a win against a team that's in the top four slash top six has been very, very long time. We remain undefeated on Boxing Day since like 1978, I want to say. So these are all positives. Um, I just concerned that they cannot take the step backwards. They need to go forward. But yeah, I mean, first half, I don't know what we were doing. The two goals we let up, I mean, they're both from set pieces. They were both shit defending. Not good enough. They looked lost. They looked like they didn't know what they were doing. Why the Villa player was wide open in the back of the box, right? On the second play. Why the Villa player was wide open? Why nobody was marking him? Um, I can't even tell you. Onana probably should have done better on the first goal. He needed to come off his line. He needed to make himself bigger. Uh, he's a little bit suspect as in terms of sweep or keeping. He's good with his feet. He's great with his feet. Everybody knows that. But in terms of coming out of the goal, he's very, very, very suspect. It's concerning. And I don't know if he needs to beef up. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence. Sometimes he looks very small. Like, it doesn't look like he's going to get the ball when he comes out to punch it. And stuff like that. And that's always very concerning. I don't know if he's afraid of making some type of mistake when he's going to do that. So he's kind of hesitating. Maybe it's, sometimes it's more of just, it's not something you really think about. It just sort of happens. You're hesitating without really realizing you're hesitating, or you're not as confident as you think you are, and it causes hesitation, or, so he needs to figure that out. But in terms of the second half, I mean, that is a Manchester United performance. That is what Manchester United is. It's been highly, 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 highly. Oh, I'm fixing this. Okay. Technical difficulties. Don't worry about it. So I wanna go on the second half. Marcus Rashford. We need this Marcus Rashford for the rest of the season. I don't know where this Marcus Rashford has been for the whole season, but I mean, the way he came out and played, he was even more confident. He was doing good things with the ball, but the most important thing is he came out and instantly he was picking his head up, right? He was taking on players, picking his head up, and looking to distribute the ball into the center of the pitch to either Hojlund, Bruno, Garnacho, whoever's there. And it's something that our wingers have been lacking doing all season. And Rashford is very guilty of it because he likes to put his head down. He likes to dribble. He likes to take on 2-3 players, and then he likes to shoot. And he shoots way too often, in my opinion. And I don't have a problem necessarily with him taking players on and going on long dribbles and trying to do something, but don't force the shots. We see what happens when he picks his head up and he looks for his teammates in the center. We started creating more chances. We started piling on the pressure. They started to feel that pressure. We looked a lot more dangerous. It looked like any second things were going to happen. And then things did happen. And good things. Roller coaster of emotion in the match, roller coaster of emotion. After the second goal, I was ready to just call it quits. I didn't think that they honestly were gonna find it in them to do what they did in the second half. I thought we were gonna come out in the second half and probably concede a third and call it a day. Um, and then even when Garnacho scored the first goal and they called an offsides on it and they took it away, I thought I was like, here we go again. Even when we try to do something correct, even when we try to, even when we do something good, it still doesn't go in our favor. It's just everything. It's just the negativity just keeps piling on, on top of each other. And but then I saw something encouraging because when you score that goal and VAR takes it away, it could really suck the energy out of the team, right? You're down 2-0. You're like, it's not going our way. It's always something, and it's very easy to just instantly deflate. Um, and they didn't, which kind of surprised me because I've seen them do it before, where they do deflate after something, goes wrong. And they kept pushing, they kept pushing, they kept pushing, and they looked very dangerous. And then Garnacho got his goal, and when he got the goal, I that's when I said I was like, we're gonna win this match. We're gonna win this match because they kept going, they kept driving, they kept showing the passion, they kept showing the fight, the hunger to get something out of this game, to prove every single person that was talking bad about them in that moment wrong. And they certainly went out and did it. And congratulations to Rasmus Højlund, my guy. I've been backing you. I've been backing you. I'm so happy. He's got his first Premier League goal. What a goal. What a strike it was. A little bit of luck, but you need that luck in football. It's part of the game. And I'm just so happy he's got his first goal. Now, people can shut the hell up about him. I've been saying it's not his fault. Like 85% of it's not his fault. Lack of service. I mean, the goal he scored, it wasn't even service from one of our players. But he took his opportunity, took a shot, fantastic strike, fantastic technique to hit that ball, good reactions, good vision, and great confidence. And I hope this carries on, and I hope he goes into our next match and he scores another goal. I hope this builds his confidence. I'm fairly confident in him. I think he's going to be a very good player for us going forward into the future. We have a couple young, exciting kids that makes me hopeful for the future. And Manu, Garnacho, Rasmus, even some of the other kids that came on did a little cameo. Kamwala, if I said his name wrong, I'm sorry, but he looks pretty good for a kid. Just being thrown in there last match, did a little cameo. He looks all right, and I know we got some more. So those are all positive things. I need to address something before we continue talking about the match. I will continue to back this manager no matter what. Listen, this whole thing can come crumbling down. We can finish in 15th place. I'm going to back Erik ten Hag. Our fans need to back Erik ten Hag. It's stop taking the easy route. Stop going after just the manager. Stop putting all the blame on him and stop asking for his head every time something goes wrong. Because it's clear the players showed us in the first half they didn't play. In the second half, they came out and played. I don't know what he told them in the dressing room. I don't know if another player took it upon them to speak to the group, but whatever he told them in the dressing room, it fired them up, and they went out there and they showed that they can play that way, and they are capable of doing it. They just don't start the match with it, and that is their problem. And Erik ten Hag will say it's on him. And as a manager, technically yes, but the club is run like crap. The club is run like absolute crap. And you're talking about he is the only guy that has been in there trying to get something out of this giant ball of shit that he's been handed. So I refuse to stab this guy in the back. He's risked his career to come here. He didn't have to come here. He could have went to any other club. There was numerous amount of people, LVG, etc., telling him, don't go to Manchester United. It's a commercial business. It's not a football club. He still came here because he wanted the challenge. He wanted to make Manchester United good again. And I will not turn my back on this manager, especially when I know, and it's full well known, and everybody complains about it, that there are so many problems at the club, and there are bigger problems than the manager. So I don't understand why when things go bad and things don't look good, everybody starts going after Erik ten Hag. I was arguing with people on Twitter 35 minutes into the match because they start saying, fire ten Hag. And I'm like, bro, but you know the club is run like shit. Why are you going after Erik ten Hag first? Shouldn't the players be kicked out? Shouldn't the hierarchy above Erik ten Hag be removed first before we look at the manager? This is my argument. I don't want to see another manager get sacked. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it because it does nothing. It doesn't help us, right? And my argument is change everything first, and then we'll look at the manager. And at a normal club that's run properly, right, and everything's in place, the sole focus will always be on the manager because that's mostly usually the problem. But as a United supporter, everybody knows that there are far bigger problems at the club than the manager. And the manager is going to make mistakes. The manager isn't going to get every signing correct. Every signing that he asked for isn't going to work out. No manager has 100% track record. I mean, if Pep Guardiola didn't have an endless checkbook, I feel like he would be criticized a lot more because a lot of the signings he gets in, he's replaced him. Calvin Phillips, for example. If that was done at United, it would be a whole thing about Ten Hag, oh, what did he bring Calvin Phillips for? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, come on. It's not realistic. But I had this one guy telling me, oh, but Erik ten Hag spent $400 million on players. And I need to drive this home again. Erik ten Hag did not spend money. He didn't spend any money on players. He didn't spend any money on players. Erik ten Hag doesn't negotiate finances. He doesn't sign off on the contract. He doesn't agree to the fees. He told the club what players he wanted, and you can criticize him if you say, well, the players he said to bring in are shit. Well, let me tell you another story. Manchester United scouting department, disaster. Anybody above Ten Hag, who can he go speak to and discuss about what player they should sign for the club? They don't have a fucking clue. They didn't know anything more than him. So how can he go and talk to people and make a decision? He literally grabbing players that he knows from personal experience because that's the only thing he can rely on, which is why I don't understand the criticism of this manager. If the manager is doing that at Manchester United, that tells you that the club is being run fucking poorly. The manager should not be there having 100% final say on players and nobody to go back at him on it or give him a different perspective or none of that. It's not Ten Hag's fault. So I'm tired of people fucking, saying this 400 million bullshit. First of all, we've overspent on players for fucking 10 years. And you know this. And every single player we buy is overpaid. And it's not on the manager. It's on the people above the manager. So stop putting it on the manager. Stop saying Erik ten Hag spent 400 million. He did not spend 400 million. He did not spend any money. He's not in control of the finances. That's the end of the story. The players that he acquired, it shouldn't have been a total of 400 million. He should have been able to get more players because we should have spent less money on the players he got, which would have gave us more funds to get more players. And we should have a very, very different squad right now. But the club is running competently, and we have what we have. And I would like to see a bunch of the players here moved on. I would like to see the new structure, the football structure under Sir Jim, and I would like to see Erik ten Hag get a chance under the new football structure because I think Erik ten Hag is not a bad manager. I really don't think. I think he is a good manager. I think he can do a job for us. Will it make him the most successful at United in 10 years? Will it lead to a Premier League? Will it lead to a Champions League? I'm not sure. Maybe not. But I think he's a manager that can have us at least challenging. I think he's good enough. I think he's smart enough. I think a lot of people do him a disservice, especially last season when I argued that he overachieved in his first season with these players, the circumstances he came into, and he took us to third, and he somehow got these guys to win a trophy. These players that are known for being bottlers and not having the characteristics and not having the mentality and having a poor attitude, and he somehow got them to actually win a trophy. So I'm gonna keep my loyalty to him. And I think the rest of the fan base should too. Because to start completely over again in the process, it's just gonna take longer. It's only gonna hurt us. I think all the other pieces need to be changed first. Those are the changes that should have been made a long time ago. We've changed the manager 5 times. Changing the manager has done nothing. So how about we change all the other pieces around the manager first? And then when everything is settled and it's working properly, if the manager can't keep improving us from season to season, or it goes backwards, then it's time to change the manager. That's my little rant on that, because I see too many people on social media and all that saying all types of crazy stuff about Erik ten Hag. The rivals are saying, keep Ten Hag, keep Ten Hag. The rivals are morons. The rivals are morons. They know nothing about our club. And actually, there's some rivals that they know that Erik ten Hag is actually a good coach. They said it to me last year. They were fearful of what it looked like he was going to build, and anybody that is a rival and is saying to keep him, they know fuck all. They think it's the manager. They don't understand how this club runs. They don't understand what's going on inside the club behind the scenes, and that's how I understand. And they don't. It's clear they don't watch enough football. That's just what it is. So, but second half, back to the match. Absolutely fantastic. It was fantastic. What they showed. It just excuse me. It was they had tempo, work rate, hard work is the most important element of any successful team. And they showed it in the second half. And this has been our problem. The system will only work if blood, sweat, and tears are given, right? You could have the greatest system in the world. As a manager, you could have the greatest tactician. You could have the most genius guy. This is why I argue you could get Pep and Guardiola and Arteta, combine them into one manager and put them at Manchester United. If the players are going to half-ass it, if the players don't have the intelligence, football IQ, if they don't have the vision, if they don't have the desire, if they don't have the passion, if they don't have the fight, if they don't have the hunger, it's all for nothing. It's not going to work. I know it's a very basic thing to talk about, and it seems like it's so basic that we should just kind of gloss over it. But you've seen, if you watch this match, you've seen it. The first half compared to the second half is 2 different Manchester United teams. The first half, that first team is completely unacceptable, and this is what they bring to most of our matches. The second half is the team that we expect, the team that should be there from the first second of the game to the last second of the game. What we expect from United players wearing this badge on that pitch, representing our club. That's what they should be showing every single match. It's on the players. I said this last video. I said it in a video previously. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it again until people get it through their head. You can lead the horse to water. You can't make the horse drink it. And Erik ten Hag has been leading these players to the water. And some of the players have been refusing to drink the water. Whether they don't want to, whether they don't think they can, or whether they don't know how. He's been telling them for over a year now what you need to be successful. He showed it to them because he got them to win a trophy. And for whatever reason, they just don't seem to naturally have it for every match at the beginning of the match. But the second half performance, And I know this sounds like heavy criticism on the players, but the second half performance, I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the players. I'm very proud of our team for the way they performed. That was a Manchester United performance. That's something that I have pride in. I have pride in that. I have pride that all those rivals that were laughing at us when we were down 2-0, I'm proud that they just watched us and they have nothing to fucking say now. They have nothing to say. And that's why I need these players to come and perform. Because I need these players to do this so they can shut everybody up. All right? We've gotten to a point where we've been embarrassed way too much, where these players have let this club down way too much. And the players should want to do it too, because you know why? Even though they're getting paid all their money, they're getting embarrassed too on a daily basis. They're getting embarrassed too. They're getting fucking laughed at. They're not getting taken seriously as professionals. And that should anger them. That should drive them. That should make them want to go out every single match and prove everybody wrong. And I don't know what Ten Hag told them in the second half, but if I'm Ten Hag, I'm fucking saying it to them before we start every match. Because I don't know what it was. But listen, that second half performance was absolutely unbelievable. And it just fired me up, all the range of emotions. I went through the whole thing, dude. I went through the whole thing. And I hope this isn't too weird, but I got to shout out God on this one because literally, I think it was 2-1. And I looked to the sky and I said, if there is a God, you will let us win this match. And we scored the second. And then Hojlund scored the third and scored his first. So I don't know. You know, maybe that was gonna happen anyway. Maybe it was fate. Maybe it was God. But yeah, shout out to that guy too. I guess he heard me on that one, so that's cool. I'm gonna do player ratings. I don't want this video to go too long. You know, we killed it. Player ratings. We're gonna get right into it. Andre Onana, he's getting a 5. First goal could have done way better. Second goal, what are you supposed to do about it? Poor marking from the defense. And again, little sus when he comes out to do the keeper sweeping. Doesn't fill me with confidence when I see him come out and do that. He is doing it. He is getting to the ball and he is sort of clearing it, and we haven't actually conceded from him doing that. So it's not all bad, but it has to be better. It can be better, and he would probably argue that he knows he can do better, and that it should be better. So a 5, a little bit below average, but otherwise, you know, not too terrible, not too terrible. He was boarding a 6 for me. He was boarding a 6. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I give him a 7. Wan-Bissaka, it was the over the top, the not covering the wingers really bothers the crap out of me. I feel like it really leaves us exposed. I don't know if that's a tactical thing, because he's really tucked inside a lot of times. And then it's like, I guess the wingers meant to track back, but I don't like their winger having so much space and freedom to just freely receive the ball and then kind of do what we want, and then we have to go over and close them down. But I mean, the guy was out there. He was making defensive plays, slide tackling, getting stuck in. I loved it. Especially in the second half when we took the lead and we were trying to hold it down. You know, he was, anytime there was a Villa player on his side that got the ball, he was right on top of them, pressure on their back, you know, just going through them, getting a foot on the ball, taking them out. So yeah, I love that. I love that, and I love when he does that. It instills confidence in me, and that for the defense, like, it just makes everything look more solid, and doesn't make it seem so nervous. Rafael Varane, I give him a 7. Listen, I don't actually know who is at fault for both goals in terms of the defense, like the defenders. You know, obviously the second one, there was the Villa player completely unmarked, wide open at the back post. Why is he unmarked? I don't know whose man that is. Individually, I think Varane didn't do anything wrong. Solid, and we won. So I give him a 7. Johnny Evans, I actually give him an 8. Johnny Evans was great. For all the for all the crap we gave because he's a free transfer. He's 36. He was gonna retire. The guy just shows his experience and shows his confidence in every match. I mean, he's not the quickest, right? But he's damn solid. He is damn solid. Um, there was even he made two big plays today, and there might have been another one, but the two that stick out in my mind was Delo made a horrible mistake in the first half. Miscommunication, basically just kicked the ball, didn't kick it hard enough, and just gave it to a Villa player up on the on a platter right in front of our box. And Johnny Evans stood his ground, stood strong, stood tall, tackled the ball, and stopped that play dead in its tracks. And if Johnny Evans didn't make that tackle, it probably would have been another Villa goal. We would have been 3-0 down, and maybe we would have had a whole different story in our hands. So there's that one. And then he made what you would probably call almost a goal line clearance. It looked like Onana was beat. I don't know. And didn't get that far. But fantastic block. Stopping a Villa goal, or what would be very close to a Villa goal. And those two are game-saving, 3-point saving blocks, tackles, defending actions. So 8 for me. 8 for me from Johnny Evans. Honestly, I thought his signing would be way worse than it has been. And actually, thank God we have Johnny Evans, because look at the crisis we have. Maguire injured, Lindelof out, Martinez out. So we're actually kind of lucky to have Johnny Evans, even though we really shouldn't. We should be having other people, but I'm happy that he's performing well, and I'm happy he's here. Diego Delo, I give him a 7. Delo did his game. He was on the left-hand side. It's a little bit iffy when it gets on the left-hand side. He doesn't look too comfortable defending on the left-hand side. I feel like the angle is weird for him. But Delo does what Delo does. He's good going forward. Still pretty good defensively. Did his game. So I give him a 7. It was like a 6.57, but we'll give him a 7. Kobe Mano, I'm gonna give the kid an 8. I thought he played absolutely fantastic. Again, shows why he deserves to be starting. Shows why I hold him in such a higher regard than Scott McTominay. The kid is a real midfielder. He is a real center mid. You could play him almost in any position in the midfield. You could play him CDM, box to box. You could probably play him even cam. The kid loves a tackle. He loves a challenge, and I love that. He's always calm, composed, and I thought he put in a good performance, especially a good reaction from the last match where he did make a huge mistake that led to a goal, and it wasn't good. And he's come in this match. We're down 2-0. The home fans very displeased. We're up against it, and he just kept playing his game. And then, even when he got subbed off, he came on there, he went like this to the fans, raised it up a little bit. I love that. The kid showing passion, showing energy, showing some fire. Absolutely love it. So 8 from the kid. And this kid's got me excited for the future, man. Him, Garnacho, and Hojlund. Let's build around these kids, man. Let's build around these kids, and the future's looking kind of bright for us. Christian Eriksen on his return, I give him a 7. I think Christian Eriksen was very good for us. He provides extra creativity, and I think we've missed that in a lot of games, and it's just another example of why Scott McTominay cannot be starting. I think Eriksen does the attacking part far better than Scott McTominay, and I actually think that Scott McTominay doesn't do anything more special defensively than Christian Eriksen does. So for me, Eriksen would have to get in ahead because he can create going forward, and Scott McTominay cannot. And he had a good display. I mean, he was winning balls back. He was creating opportunities. So I think it was a good display. First match back, full match. Played the full match. 7. Bruno Fernandes, I give him a 6.5. Captain, The guy never stops running. He never stops putting in effort. Um, but he is Bruno. I think he played better today than he has been playing, as he was allowed to get more forward, more in that camp spot, which is what I've been arguing. Um, he still did some Bruno like things where he takes a random shot and you don't know why he takes the shot, or he makes a couple shit passes or just the wrong decision. So in that area he had to improve. But he wasn't completely horrible. He just wasn't amazing. And he gets a 6.5 and not a 7 because you're the captain, and your standards have to be, your performance has to be higher. I always said, if you wear that armband, your performances get criticized more. I used to do it to Maguire. Now it's Bruno. So Bruno, you got to step up your game more. We need more from you. You are the captain. Um, but I don't have a problem with him owning. I'm used to it. I expect it. Um, that's not an issue for me. That's not an issue for me. My issue is he needs to be making things happen on the pitch more. But I would like to see him stay in that cam spot. And I think we'll see it. I think if I feel bad for Bruno because he's always moved around. I mean, even last season, the guy was throwing on the right wing, then he was cam, then he was playing in the back, then he was playing on the wing again. I mean, just leave Bruno Fernandes as cam. Let him play his game. Let him do his thing. And I think it'll benefit us totally. So Alejandro Garnacho, he is getting an 8.5 from me. Scored 2 goals, 2 beautiful goals. Probably should have had a hat trick. I'm still not convinced he was offsides. It was a dodgy camera angle that VAR showed. They didn't show any of the lines during the match. Somehow it was released online and then it wasn't on my TV. Maybe it was on somebody else's TV, a different network, but I didn't see it. The camera angle they showed looked like it came from a drone and it was from the right side. And, I zooming in to see and you can't even see clearly. So I'm going to go with Rob Garnacho of a hat trick. But anyway, the 2 goals he scored, absolutely fantastic. I love this kid. I love the way he's direct. He needs to fix just a little bit. Sometimes he's too tunnel vision on the goal, like Rashford is. He needs to just pick his head up a little bit more and look for his team. There was 1 or 2 chances where Hojlund was there, and he was dying for the pass across the goal, and then Garnacho decided to shoot it. And I love Garnacho because I love how direct he is. He's skillful and he's confident, and he brings that drive and he goes at the defenders, puts pressure on them, makes them nervous. I love all that. Just don't force always the shot. Like I know you want to score, I know you want to contribute, I know you want to be great, but take it when you got it. But if it seems like you're about to force it, just look for your teammate, man. And I promise, things are gonna look way, way better for everybody. You're gonna get praise for that. You're gonna get praise because we're gonna win more matches and all that. So Marcus Rashford, I give him a 7. He came to play. First half wasn't so great, but then again, nobody in the team in the first half was that great. What he's getting a 7 for, and maybe I would argue to give him something higher if he played the whole second half, but he didn't. And I hope he's not injured because he was holding his back. He looked a little off. So I hope he's not injured because we need him to stay fit, and we need the Marcus Rashford in the second half. We need him for the rest of the season. What he was doing in the second half was absolutely fantastic. Just the way he was taking people on, but for me, it was the fact that it was almost like they went in there and he got yelled at for just trying to dribble and putting his head down and not looking for his teammates. And it was like instantly, as soon as we started the second half, he would do his dribble from the midfield, but he was looking for somebody in the center. He did it like 6 times in a row, and it actually amazed me because I didn't think that he was going to do that. I kind of felt like they refused to do that, or he just couldn't do it. But clearly he can, and he was creating dangerous chances doing that, and we need more of that. We need more of that. I like that from Rashford. And I'm gonna give him praise because at the end of the day, like I always said, dude, you don't gotta score a goal, and you don't necessarily have to get the assist, right? But if you do things like that and you create chances for your teammates and for the team, doing a good style of play, keeping it simple, not doing too much, um, you're gonna get credit. I'm gonna give you credit because that's what we need. That's what we need. This is a team sport, man. This is a team sport. I know. Same thing, Rashford as Garnacho. I know you want to be great. I know you want to get the goal. I know you want the accolades. And you're gonna get it because you're gonna get chances, but you don't have to force it. Don't force it. Just take what comes and go kind of go with the flow, and just make things happen from there. So hopefully, he's not injured. And we see him again. Rasmus Højlund, I give him an 8. First goal, first half, again, nobody played that well, but he was really struggling 10-15 minutes in. I was kind of concerned. I was kind of worried. Wasn't looking good. I mean, he couldn't trap the ball. He couldn't do anything. It was all coming off bad. And I was getting real concerned because I was like, now it's looking like he's losing confidence. It's one thing to not score or whatever, and not because you're not getting chances. But I was like, now a simple trap, you're not making it because you're second guessing everything in your head. The confidence isn't as high. I was worrying, but second half, entire team turned it around, including him. Fantastic strike, great technique, right? Took his chance, confidence to take that chance, a little bit of luck, and he gets his first goal. And now everybody, all the haters, can shut the hell up. I've been backing this kid. I know he's gonna be great for us. He's got the talent, really, 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 and he's going to score a lot of goals. I have this feeling this kid is going to score a lot of goals for us as his career continues to develop at Manchester United, and I hope this goal gives him the confidence to go out into the next match and score another goal, 2, 3. I don't know. I'm greedy. I want the kid to score 20 goals. Score as many goals. Score 5 goals a game. All tap-ins. I don't care, man. As long as you put in the back of the net. I want him to get more chances. He needs to get more chances too. Give the kid more service, and let's see what he does, man. Let's see what he does. Have some more confidence. Have some more faith. I would like to see from our wingers in our striker. All the substitutes, I'm gonna give him a 6. They weren't really on for long, and they did all right. I don't think any of them did anything bad to lower their score. I don't think nobody did anything like amazing to raise their score. So they all get 6s. And that would be Scott McTominay, Anthony, Willie Kumbwala, Dan Gore, and Hannibal Mejbri. All of them 6s. And Eric Ten Hag, I'm gonna give an 8. I've seen some weird ratings. People give him 6, 6.5, 7. And I think that's strange. I think he set up the team properly. I think he did what everybody asked, was to drop Scott McTominay. He did that. And I think he managed the game well. And also, whatever he told them at halftime in that locker room clearly worked. It changed the whole perspective of the game. He deserves credit. I think he deserves an 8 for the management of this game. He set it up correctly. The players were playing poorly. He straightened it out. They played better in the second half. They got the results. He made substitutions, locked down the game, and we finished the game and got 3 points against a team that has beaten basically all of the top 4, top 6 teams. Something that we haven't been able to do for like 2 years or longer. And that's my manager. So I'm gonna back him. Bring him back. Bold is best. We're gonna go from here. He's got this. I have faith in my manager. He's gonna turn it around. And when he turns it around, I want an apology from all the haters. For sure. Because I think he's unfairly getting too much criticism. You can criticize, but I feel like he's getting a blame for a lot of the shit that ain't his fault, and he should not be getting blamed for it. So, Alejandro Garnacho is our man of the match. drop a like or a comment down below if you agree with that. And yeah, I think we're gonna end it. Let me just go check for some quotes, some interesting stuff, statistics or something. Um, Before we wrap up, I don't want it to go too long. Let's see. Oh, you know what I'll do? I got you. All right, here we go. Something we could talk about. Erik Ten Hag played 4 teenagers today. Garnacho, Meno, Gore, Kumbala. It's very encouraging. Very encouraging. He was getting criticized for not playing some of the kids. And I've argued it's a rough environment to play these children when things aren't going correct. But it looks like he's and I really hope, I think I said this before. I really hope that these kids don't go away when we get back Casemiro, Martinez, a couple other players, Maguire, Lindelof. I want these kids to stick around, but he is using the kids before. I mean, like, for example, somebody like Palestri, when you would argue that there was an opportunity for Palestri to play, he still wasn't playing Palestri. So there was opportunities for these kids to play. Obviously, Garnacho and Meno are more first-team starters. Gore and Kumbala are just, hanging around right now. But I want to see them stick around in the first team. I want to see them used. I want to see them get minutes. For sure. I think it's very important. As many youth players as we can develop, get them accustomed to the first team, and have them fighting for a position is only going to benefit the club in the future. It's going to be less positions that we have to sign or replace players with, which means that we can use those funds on other positions / other players that we need. So it's very important. It's something that we haven't really done in over 10 years now. And, I think hopefully I'm hoping this is part of Erik Ten Hag's master plan for the youth. And let's see where it goes from there. Erik Ten Hag on the Ineos investment. He was asked about the Ineos investment. He said, it is positive for the club that they are stepping in. They want to work with us, and we want to work with them. Very PR-ish, like he always is. If you don't know this by now, Erik Ten Hag doesn't like the media. He doesn't. He gives them mostly PR-ish responses, as I kind of agree with. The media is not his friend. The media is not our friends. A lot of the media are two-faced snakes. I understand it's kind of the job, but very cynical, ugly scene to work in, and they're not the nicest of people. So I don't mind that he kind of gives these bullshit answers to the media. I mean, as a fan, as a human being, you kind of have to be smart enough to know what he's saying, what's going on, put it together, and then come up with your own thing. There's no reason why you should just be like a puppet. They're like, oh, he said this, he said this, he said that. Why didn't he criticize this? Why didn't he criticize that? I mean, come on, put 2 and 2 together. The guy's being professional. He's not. There's no Mourinho style. He's not going out guns blazing to the media, fucking throwing people under the bus, attacking them. You know what I mean? Especially right now. I mean, if he's around for 10 years, maybe he gets more comfortable, and he'll start telling people off and shit like that. But not right now. It's not really his style. He's never really been like that. Unai Emery has commented saying the atmosphere pushed them. They have very good players. Yes. Good evening. Good evening, Unai Emery. We'll take that. We'll take that. A little bit of revenge. Yeah, that's right. My manager is better. Outclassed. That was one thing I wanted to say. They were saying during the second half that Unai Emery was getting frustrated because his team wasn't playing how they were playing in the first half, right? And they couldn't play how they were playing in the first half. You want to know why? Because Villa weren't playing good. What did Villa create from open play? I mean, yeah, they had a chance here and there, and it looked like it could happen, and we had some excellent blocks and all that good stuff, but they didn't score a goal from open play. They scored 2 crap set pieces that we let them score. They should never go in. Those are our mistakes. And we were playing like shit. We were playing like shit. They weren't beating us. We were beating ourselves, which is the frustration I have with this team because, to be honest, a lot of the games we play, we're not even getting outplayed. I don't think the other team's players are better than our players. I don't think the tactics are better than our tactics. I simply think that we just don't show up. And we're not playing to the best of our ability. And we beat ourselves, we outplay ourselves, and we make the other team look good, and we make ourselves look completely shit. And the reason why they couldn't play the way they played in the first half, in the second half, is because they actually weren't playing good. We were just playing bad. And then when we stepped it up, they couldn't keep up. I don't know. I'm just an American fan. What do I know? I haven't watched the sport my whole life or anything. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. I haven't watched this club my entire life. I don't live and breathe this, No. But leave it to the experts. The commentators. The commentators had me disgusted the whole match, talking shit. I don't see the plan. I don't see this. I don't see that. What do you see now? Because I see a manager trying to get something out of these players that do have talent. They just don't apply it consistently every match for the duration of the match. And it's a fight. And I think our manager does have a plan. I think he does have a style of play. I think he's doing his best to get it out of this group of crap that we have. And whoever is buying into him, I encourage you to come buy into it and stick around. And the ones that don't, you could go, man. Like I said, hierarchy, change, players, change. Then we look at the manager. And that's how I'm keeping it. I'm not changing it. I don't care if we get relegated. I don't care if we miss out on top 4 by a point. I don't care. He's going to make decisions I don't agree with. Doesn't mean I want him fired. So I'm going to back him. I'm going to continue backing him. Ten Hag said the first half was solid. I disagree. I mean, to be fair, if you don't make the stupid 2 fucking mistakes, the general play, right, wasn't horrible. It wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't terrible. It was just the mistakes were bad. And then they were kind of flat. Then they decided they wanted to play a little bit. I still don't think it was good enough because we didn't score. So, it obviously had to be better, which was what we saw in the second half. Then he said, I changed the tactics at halftime when it comes to our pressing, and it helped. He said, I changed the tactics. I don't think I heard him say that before. Hey, he's taking shots at you haters, bro. He said, I changed the tactics. He said, I'm responsible. He said, I changed it. He said, those players, they would have been screwed. See, my manager, tactician, better than Arteta, better than Pep. Bold is best. My manager. We are unbeaten on Boxing Day since 1978. Yes, we are. Alejandro Garnacho won Premier League Man of the Match award officially. Oh, we got the halftime quote. You want to hear what he said? Erik ten Hag, I said at halftime, keep believing and keep doing what we did in the first half. Well, I don't know. I think he said something else. I think he said something that he can't. I think he said something that he can't repeat in public. I think that's what he said. I think that's a PR response. 100%. I think he said something that he can't say to the media. He definitely can't say it on TV. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's people out there that they're gonna read that and they're gonna be like, what's wrong with this guy? The first half wasn't even good, and he told them to keep believing and keep doing what we did in the first half. No. That's the answer he has to give to the media, bro. You gotta be media trained, bro. You can't just come out and talk like you're at the bar with your boys. I know for a fact that's not. He might have said that, but that's not the only thing he said. That's not the main thing he said. I'm highly confident he gave him a kick up their ass, because they came fired out. They came out totally different in the second half. I think he gave him the hairdryer. That's what I think that was. I seen it. I seen Ferguson, he gave the hair dryer, and it looked similar to that. It looked like the response looked similar. It looked like the hair dryer response. Yeah. Garnacho has said too many people talk about the strikers in MUFC. Today you see Marcus Rashford with the assist. Oh, Rashford did get an assist. All right, definitely a 7 then. Definitely a 7. Me and Rasmus Højlund with the goals, so I'm very happy. Yes, agree with Garnizzi. I've coined him Garnizzi. That's it. And that's all for today. Thank you guys for tuning in very much. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support. Please, again, like, share, and subscribe. Before you go, take 2 seconds, hit the like button. It really helps us. We really appreciate it. So thank you very much. And we're going to be bringing you another one. We're going to discuss more, any topics tomorrow that come up. And we'll do a little bit more in-depth on the match as well because, fantastic result for us. I'm buzzing. And that's the Christmas present that we deserved. Not the one that we got before Christmas. But this is the Christmas present that we deserved. So thank you guys for tuning in. And we will be bringing you another one like we always do. Thank you very much. See you guys later. Have a good morning, good evening, good night from wherever you're watching in the world. We love you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.